Well, as we hit the final stretch of election season, watch out where your money is going. ITMate's Tim Spears shows us how a Hoosier who thought he was donating to political campaigns, Tim, wasn't.
That's right, Phil. Just because you're paying to see a candidate take the stage doesn't mean your money is going to that campaign. A group that's hosted and advocated for prominent Indiana Republicans is clarifying that it's not a political action committee after one Hoosier felt he was ripped off.
Well, if they're not registered, then where is the money? Like, where's the money going? There's money coming in, so where's it going out?
Ben Dallas was surprised to learn his $25 did not go to local school board candidates.
The point was to raise money for these three candidates running for school board. So they all gave stump speeches and so on.
He paid to get into this event, hosted by Indiana Call to Action. So it was your understanding that the money you were paying for a ticket was going to the candidates?
That's what I assumed.
How would you feel if you found out that they actually weren't giving this money to the candidates?
I would feel ripped off.
Call to Action has hosted events with local, state, and federal Republicans, including Representative Jim Banks, former Attorney General Curtis Hill, and current Attorney General Todd Rokita. Now, its website has a disclaimer saying it is not a political action committee and does not contribute to political candidates.
Only after I questioned them, they then changed their website.
Clifton French, who runs a conservative news site, was a featured speaker at the event Dallas paid to see. French now believes, despite Call to Action's disclaimer, it is acting as a political action committee, even if it's not registered as one. Take this August 2023 event with Congressman Banks, who's running for Senate. A poster for the event has a Jim Banks for Senate logo. Seems to endorse him as the only true conservative running for Indiana's U.S. Senate seat and includes a link to his campaign website, even though the invite notes admission only covers expenses for the event. What made you start questioning how it was being ran?
Well, they started pushing candidates.
Indiana law generally defines a political action committee as an organization trying to influence an election or ballot question and accepts or spends more than $100 to do that. The federal threshold is $1,000. Indiana Call to Action is not a registered PAC, nonprofit, or business with the Indiana Secretary of State's office, describing itself as a grassroots organization.
I find that it's always helpful to dig carefully into the fine print of what a group claims they are and what they claim to be doing.
Andrew Mayerson is a committee's researcher with Open Secrets, a nonprofit tracking money in U.S. politics.
There's a very broad spectrum of groups out there that are doing some kind of activities that might be considered political by an ordinary person that may or may not trigger disclosure requirements.
A political action committee registered in Indiana has to file a CFA form, which is available to everyone to read, detailing every dollar collected, including who it's from and how it's spent. When groups are not registered as a PAC, we don't know who's funding them or how they use their money to influence politics.
To have an accurate picture of who's influencing your elections, who has the ear of your politicians, and so forth, you ultimately need to know whose checks are they accepting.
And when that's not happening, French worries people may be getting tricked into handing over cash that never goes to a campaign.
I absolutely believe that people who were going to them thought that they were donating to campaigns. 100%.
And if a group claims they're raising money for candidates or appear to be, that group should be registered with the Federal Election Commission or Secretary of State's office. Tim Spears for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.